Okay, hi everyone. I'm not in for a little bit, so I'm going to make a video on how to do the next assignment. This is one of our last ones with Inkscape. Uh, and then we'll move on to another one, and soon we'll be making a yearbook cover. So you may want to make a yearbook cover that has your own Viking on it or your own images on it. And so what we're really learning is how to make our own graphics. So the challenge is in this one is to make this robot character as close as possible, and then to make one character of your own. I was gonna say make a Viking, but I'm gonna let you make any character of your own. Vikings can be harder because they're very curved. So I'll let you do any character, any cartoon character, any uh, object of your own that you want to make. But for this one, I'm going to start with showing you how I would make this robot. We've learned a lot of these skills already. So let's go. I've got Inkscape open right here. I'm going to paste it. Again, I'm tracing this. When it comes to the second one, you're going to make it without tracing. But for now, let's get started. I'm going to zoom in. And what should I start with? I'm going to start with this square right here. Let's go here. Okay, so I got that. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to the fill panel right here. And let's just call this arm. Why am I doing that? Because I'm going to make a lot of shapes, and I'm going to duplicate them. It'd be nice to be able to turn them off and on. You see how I can turn it off and on? So I don't get way too confused. Now, if I go back to this panel here, we see that it's solid. We see once I have to, Inkscape's odd. I have to play with the saturation and the luminosity to actually change the color, and now I do that. So you can see I can change the colors. Now I can change it to gray, but you'll see that this isn't strictly gray. This goes from light gray to dark gray. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say gradient. You see right here, that's solid. This is if there's no color. This is if it's solid. This is if it's got a gradient. Okay, and so do you see how it goes from gray to sort of an invisible gray? This is the hue, the saturation, the luminosity, and this is the alpha. The alpha is whether or not it's invisible. I don't want it to be invisible. I don't want this to be invisible. So you see I go from gray to gray. Well, that's not really fun. Let's say I want to go from gray to blue. See how it's going from gray to blue? I can even add stops. I can go, let's go from gray to yellow. So you see how it goes from gray to yellow to blue? Well, what I want to do is go from gray to light gray, just because I'm copying this. But I could do some really cool stuff. So gray to light gray. Yeah. Okay, it's not exact. I kind of want it to be a little different just because I want to show you the differences. And then if I hit this gradient tool, I can actually change the direction of the gradient. So you see how now I'm going from gray to light gray, and I put that here. Now notice this arm has a black box around it. That's the stroke. I'm going to click stroke. I go here. It's black already. Good stuff. I'm going to go to stroke style. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Is it getting bigger? Doesn't look like it. Oh no, that's dashes. Never mind. It's up here, width. Okay, that's too big. Okay, so I've got that. Good enough. I'm going to copy it. I copy by going Control C, Control V. I've got my two arms right here. Now look, if I move this guy around, I can see, okay, well, I've got two arms, right? Okay, now let's make, well, really, I can start going pretty quick because once I've got a good body done, I can go copy paste. I'm going to go like here, but I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, now notice sometimes I'm going to want to bring things on top of each other. Like I want that, I can either shrink it. I mean, that's good enough. Yeah, I can go like this, Control C, Control V. I'm going to move it over here. Okay. Um, let's make the body, or maybe I should make these little blue things. Let's make the blue thing. So I'm going to go like here. I'm going to make like a little blue thing like that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go fill. I'm going to say you're blue. Is that blue? Yeah, that's blue. So I can put it here. And again, sometimes I want to go to layer. Like, what is this? The rectangle. That is a blue fill. And that way, if I want to grab it, I can always go into my layers and copy it. Now I'm going to copy it and paste it. Go here, right? Awesome. The blue fill looks like it's behind. So I can actually put it behind by going down, 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 down. I move it down, or I can just grab it and move it down. Okay. And the cool thing about it being on behind is that it doesn't dominate. So am I doing some? Yeah, I've got two arms on a robot. We learned about the Bezier pen yesterday, so let's do that for this. This Bezier pen will let me draw the main body. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Only the inside of that thing is gray. Okay. And it's not supposed to be on top of everything. Actually, let's get the way it is. Again, I probably wanted a gradient from. See, I've always got to jam this alpha up. Alpha goes up right here. Okay, but it goes from gray to gray. Let's go make it go from gray to lighter gray. Right? See that? And if I grab the gradient tool again, I can change the way that the fading is so cool. You can do a lot of neat stuff with a neat fade. And again, if I wanted to make this a rainbow robot, and you can change it up. You don't have to do it exact. So if you want to make a more interesting robot, feel free to do that. Okay, so now my robot has like almost like a metallic look to it. Pretty neat, eh? Okay, so let's go back to the layers. Let's turn off. Let's see if we can see the image because it's nice to see. Okay, right. So maybe now I'm going to move it over here because doing it on top gets hard. I'm going to do this this square thing going on over here. Let's do that. Or a couple circles. Circle, but it is red. Again, copy paste. This one's yellow. Okay, so look at that. I've gone along. Now again, notice that that's a fade. That's a fade. It's not just red. I think, are you looking for student success?
Environmental science.
It's not in this room. It's the wrong room.
Not sure.
Okay, I think I'm pretty close to, I've given you enough that you can probably figure out how to do the rest. I make this square here. Again, that's gray on the inside, right? But then there's another square over here that's blue. And I bring this over to blue. Now notice this is, again, it's a gradient from light blue to dark blue. So I can go like this. Light blue to dark blue. And see, these are the colors over here. Blue, and this is an invisible blue. I actually want to go not invisible, go over here. And then I can change the color. Like the first blue is here, the second blue is here. Second blue, let's see, that goes from blue to purple. I just want you to see it, so I'm doing it. But if I really wanted to do it light blue, I can go there. Okay, so you get that tone there. And that's it. You should be able to do this. Sometimes you might move it back on top to see how close you are and move it out. That's how you make the robot. And using the same skills, see if you can make a character of your own. Thank you.